Imagine getting just 1% better every day. It sounds like nothing. You won't even feel it. But do the math. 1% better every single day for a full year, and you end up 37 times better than where you started. That's the whole secret of this book, and most people get it completely backwards. Atomic Habits by James Clear has sold over 15 million copies, and there's a reason it sits on almost every must-read list you've ever seen. It doesn't promise a dramatic overnight transformation, no magic morning routine, no superhuman discipline. Instead, it makes one quiet, powerful argument. Your life right now, today, is essentially the sum of your small, repeated choices. Fix the small things, and the big things take care of themselves. I used to set 10 goals every January, every single year, and by February, maybe 8 of them were already gone. I thought I had a discipline problem. Turns out, I had a system problem. And this book showed me the difference. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 ideas from this book that will genuinely change how you think about behavior. And I'll give you the one thing you can actually do today, not next Monday, today. Let's get into it. Before we get to habits themselves, we need to talk about something even more important, something most self-improvement books completely skip. Idea 1. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. Here's something James Clear says that stopped me mid-read. He says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Think about that for a second. Goals are about the results you want. Systems are about the daily process that gets you there. And here's the problem. We all love talking about goals. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to write a book. I want to save $10,000. Great, but the goal tells you nothing about how. Clear gives a brilliant example. Imagine 2 sports teams. Both want to win the championship. Same goal, identical ambition, but one team has a rigorous daily system. They track every rep, review every game, and build feedback loops into everything they do. The other team talks a lot about winning. You already know which team wins. Here's the deeper point. If you fix your system, you'll hit your goal almost automatically. But if you only focus on the goal and ignore the system, you'll either never get there, or you'll get there and fall right back. Stop obsessing over the finish line. Design the daily process. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because building a system is only half the equation. The other half is something most people have completely backwards about who they even are. Idea 2. Habits are identity-based, not outcome-based. Most people set habits by deciding what they want. I want to get fit. I want to read more. I want to be more productive. Clear says that's the wrong starting point entirely. The most powerful habit change doesn't start with an outcome. It starts with identity, with the question, what kind of person do I want to be? Here's the difference. I want to run a marathon. That's outcome-based. I am a runner. That's identity-based. And every time you lace up your shoes, even for 5 minutes, you cast a vote for that identity. Every single rep is a vote. Think about someone trying to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. If they say, I'm trying to quit, that identity is still a smoker who's fighting. But if they say, no thanks, I don't smoke, that's a different person entirely. Real change isn't about behavior. Real change is identity change. Behavior is what you do. Identity is who you are. And the habits follow almost without effort when you start from the right place. So ask yourself, on the habit you've been trying to build, are you focused on what you want to achieve? Or are you focused on what kind of person does this naturally? Now, once you know what habit you're building and who you're becoming, you still need to understand the actual mechanism. And this is where Clear gives you the real engineering of behavior. Idea 3. The 4 laws of behavior change. Clear lays out 4 laws for building any good habit and 4 laws for breaking any bad one. Think of these as the operating system running underneath every behavior. Law 1. Make it obvious. Good habits need clear cues. If you want to take your vitamins every morning, don't hide them in a cabinet. Put them right next to your coffee maker. The cue needs to be visible. Law 2. Make it attractive. Bundle something you love with something you're trying to build. Only listen to your favorite podcast while you work out. Now the gym feels like a reward, not a punishment. Law 3. Make it easy. The more friction between you and the habit, the less likely you'll do it. Reduce friction ruthlessly. Sleep in your gym clothes if you have to. Make starting effortless. Law 4. Make it satisfying. The brain repeats what feels good. Give yourself an immediate reward right after the behavior. Track the habit. Check the box. The feeling of progress is its own reward. And to break a bad habit, invert every law. Make it invisible, unattractive, hard, and unsatisfying. This framework sounds simple, and it is. But here's the mistake almost everyone makes when they actually try to apply it. Idea 4. The 2-minute rule. You want to start a new habit. You sit down and design this beautiful system. 30 minutes of reading every night, an hour at the gym every morning, meditation, journaling, cold showers. You know how this ends. Clear says, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Work out becomes put on your shoes. Meditate becomes sit down and take 3 deep breaths. This sounds almost insultingly simple, I get it. But here's what's actually happening. You are not trying to do the thing. You are trying to become the kind of person who shows up for the thing. Every time you lace up those shoes, even if you don't work out that day, you cast a vote for the identity of someone who works out. Showing up comes first. The size comes later. A person who meditates for 2 minutes every day for a month has done infinitely more than someone who planned for 20 minutes and never started. Mastery requires volume, not perfection. And you can't get volume if you never begin. But there's one more idea, and it might be the most powerful of all, because it lets you stop relying on discipline entirely. Idea 5. Environment beats willpower. We have this picture of disciplined people. Strong, rigid, resisting temptation at every turn, never cracking. Clear says that picture is almost entirely wrong. Disciplined people don't win through willpower. They design their environment so they rarely need it. Here's the thing about willpower. It's a finite resource. Every decision, every act of resistance draws from the same tank, and it depletes. By the evening, it's often gone entirely. But your environment? That never gets tired. Want to eat healthier? Don't rely on willpower at 10 p.m. We design the fridge, put the fruit at eye level, move the junk to the back. Want to use your phone less? Put it in a drawer, in another room, remove the cue. Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow before you leave in the morning. Make it the most visible thing in the room at bedtime. Your environment is the silent architect of your behavior, and you get to design it. Most people never realize they have that power. Stop trying to be the strongest person in the room. Start being the person who built the right room. Which brings us to the thing I want you to actually use from this video. If you remember nothing else from everything we just covered, remember this. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one habit, just one. Shrink it down to 2 minutes, the version so small it almost feels pointless. Attach it to something you already do every day, your morning coffee, your commute, the moment before bed, and just show up. Don't worry about being consistent for a year. Don't think about 30 days. Just show up today, then tomorrow. The results won't look like anything for a while. That's normal. That's actually how compounding works. It's quiet for a long time, and then it's not. 1% every day. You won't feel it happening, and then one day you'll look back, and you won't recognize how far you've come. Pause the video right now. What's the one habit Write it down, just the name of it. And underneath it, write the 2-minute version. You've already done the hardest part. You know what it is. If that one thing gave you something to work with, start it today. Not tonight, not tomorrow, today. Subscribe if you want one book like this broken down every single week. I keep it clear, calm, and actually useful. No fluff, no filler, just the ideas that matter and what to do with them. And if this resonated, send it to one person who keeps saying they'll start next Monday. This might be exactly what they need. I'll see you in the next one.